had a problem for some time after handling classes na when you open the database or kind of like just a shared drive where you pull up all the books or learning materials na you have to teach with your students, there are no audio recordings. Apparently, the files are just PDF files. Because at first, I was wondering why there are books that I can play audio recordings, and there are also books that I can't. Apparently, the files that do not play the audio recordings, they are PDF files. And then there are no versions of PowerPoints, PPT files in the shared drive where we get these books from, wherein that's where the audio recordings are working. So yun, I had to ask my TM how could I possibly get um, a, an access to the recording just in case that there is no PowerPoint or PPT file in the share drive. And I had a lot of question really. So, lagi siyang ganun. Kasi before, I also had a lot of questions with her, right? I just mentioned earlier. Tapos, isa lang yung sinagot niyang tanong. So, I learned na, oh, dapat ibang strategy yung gawin kong pagtatanong kasi baka na-overwhelm siya. So, ang ginagawa ko, I send her messages pretty much just like this. TM, good day. I actually need some help from you if you may, please. Here are my questions. Number one, none. So I put my first question and then number two, second question, number three. So logically, I was thinking she can possibly be able to answer all of my questions this way because she can just refer to the number indications, right? So I was expecting when she replies, she's gonna answer, oh, here are the answers to your questions. Number one. Number two, there you go, whatever, right? But my God, still the same. I'm I'm gonna read you my question to her because I also explain why I'm asking the question. So this is what I sent to her today. TM, why some materials or books in cloud, well, that's the share drive, doesn't have PPT materials, only PDF. This makes me not able to play the audio. This is now alarming for me and affects my credibility as a teacher. Okay? And then I told her I already sent a lot of reports to the customer service. I didn't receive any feedback. Okay? Um, and then I told her that the customer service right after answered me and sent me the recordings just now. Okay? But what I experienced was the student had an exam. Okay? And we supposedly playing the recordings both at the same time. Okay? So we should be listening to the recordings so that we can figure what's the answer to the blanks. Okay? So I'm telling you now what's the nature of the questions, no? Fill in the blanks siya. Tapos, we're gonna get the answers from the recordings. And then, I had to tell her I didn't have an access to the recordings because I just got a PDF file from the share drive. But the student has an access to the recording. So it's embarrassing. So I had to tell her that, it's very embarrassing that I had to ask my student to send me the web address of the recording so that I can listen to it just as at the same time with him. So, yun lang. Yun yung mga parang workaround na you really have to be equipped with when you are in this kind of job. Okay? Kasi you cannot really rely on to your superiors all the time, especially when you have a current class going on, tapos you have questions. You cannot just wait for them to reply to you before finishing the class, right? You need to go on. So I had to think about a workaround, and that was the resolution I had to do. The student was, actually nice enough to send me the web address, and he respects me a lot because we had a lot of different sessions together. So there. Yun lang, parang masakit na because he's an adult eh. He's an adult learner. Siyempre, when it's an adult we're talking about, siyempre, sa isip niyan, they know na, oh my God, bakit walang, tamang resources tong teacher na to, right? So, it's totally an unreliable um, resource. Okay? Anyway, yun lang. Tapos, I had to tell that to my TM today, right? Tapos sabi ko naman sa kanya, okay, maybe there's really a way for me to access the recordings. Though, PDF lang yung I can see in the share drive, right? Oh, and I just don't know where exactly I can get them. So maybe you can let me know where I can access them on my own. So I don't have to bug anyone anymore, right? Pucha. Sorry with the word But the only reply I got from her, God gracious, she said, yes, you can use the PDF, dear. Right? Putangina pa rin. Sorry with the word, but big T na lang guys, big T. Talaga. Sinasabi ko sa inyo. Tapos, biglang sabi niya, yes, you can use a PDF, dear. And by the way, what's your next week's schedule? Diyos ko. Anong gagawin ko? Ay, nako. So, syempre, ang gagawin naman ng lola nyo, 'di ba? I will send a follow-up question, 'di ba? Ay, kinopy-paste ko yung reply niya na yes, you can use a PDF dear. Tapos sabi ko, TM, that is the point. I can't use the PDF because it doesn't have audio recording. Okay? I'm asking, how can I have an access to the recordings just like how the students get? Ay, tapos sinend ko na yung schedule ko for next week para kay Rina. Now, I'm still waiting for her reply. Though she is freaking active right now, she's not replying. So, anyway, I sent her all the evidence, the pieces of evidence. I sent her the screenshot na I cannot really access the audio, na hiningi ko pa sa estudyante yung web address, 'di ba? Sobrang nakakahiya. Parang tanga-tanga naman itong teacher nito, hindi alam na pwedeng ma-access sa ganito, ganyan, 'di ba? It's really funny. But anyway, this is totally crazy, right? Totally crazy. I gotta say that they can't totally comprehend English that much. I guess they run out of qualified people to be superiors over us. I gotta say, I'm not saying that they don't really have those needed skills to be team managers. Probably they do. That's why they have the positions. but I guess they have to be trained more and educated more on how they should manage to address all the questions of their subordinates, right? Because it's very important, if all these questions are not answered, they get built up in time, right? And what happens to me, kasi when I have a question, she doesn't answer right away. What happens, she just ignore and then sends me a message, right? Tell me your next week's schedule. Tapos, I have a new question now, right? So I had to ask her again about my last week's question, right? So nabibuild up siya na nabibuild up hanggang sa wala, ignore lahat yung questions mo. So this is totally a big challenge for me because I don't totally have any other resources. The customer service are replying, but it's too late because you're done with the class, and and each and every class are 25 minutes only. So do I have to really wait for the reply before I finish this class? Diba? So anyway, that's just something that I really wanna share to you guys because for those people who would like to be aspiring online teachers, you can get a lot of tips from this video, based on my experience. So, anyway, Acadsoc has a way for you to file a complaint. It's actually just on their website. Pero I don't wanna ruin my relationship with my TM yet, because they're the ones who handle your schedule. Um, and I heard that if you don't have a good relationship with them, they're gonna mess up your schedule. They will. And you might probably have a much lower rate per hour, and that's something that I don't want to do right now. So, anyway, I can still definitely handle things on my own, but for sure, I'm telling you, I'm still gonna bombard her with a lot of my questions, especially when I need to. Okay. Anyway, on my next vlog, I will explain and probably share to you some of the details on, how much is the pay for an Acadsoc teacher. So stay tuned with my next vlog. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. See you.